Well, hey, this is day 42 of Drop 'em 78 with the King of Cups from Dame Fortune's Wheel Tarot. And Houston here associates it with the King of Hearts, which in traditional French playing cards tended to be labeled as Charlemagne or Charles the Great. He was the first emperor of the Holy Roman Empire, crowned in 799. He's one of the Nine Worthies, and he and his paladins were featured in a bunch of French medieval romances. There's a lot of legend about him bringing peace and stability and promoting education. I, of course, am always a little suspect of Empire's version of events, but taken at face value, this card in particular can be seen as a good and trustworthy man. And Houston's depiction of him here is very close to actual artwork representing Charlemagne, which he has a version of in his book, Mystical Origins of the Tarot. And I just love how he's incorporated hearts and the cup in this artwork. And I really like the face in this cup. It's just really nice art. The traditional Balinese meaning for this card is an old man. Atea saw him as an honest man, or that the card just represented fairness in general, as well as art and science. Reversed, he could also be an honest man, or highly distinguished, or a well-placed man. But then Houston notes that if the surrounding cards lead you to that belief or that conclusion, it could also represent a dishonest man when reversed, or extortion, injustice, or corruption. And to me, that brings about the point of how, in my personal view, instead of using reversals, we can just look at the surrounding cards to see if those so-called reversal meanings are more relevant. Not to discount anyone who does use reversals, but I think it's equally valid not to. My detail is going to be this crown. I've done a lot of looking at crowns because I think it's interesting, the different artworks and what they symbolize. And the Holy Roman Empire crowns are really distinct. They've got this kind of a handle shape on them, which I assume are intended to reflect the shape of the mane or the crest that we see on top of ancient Roman helmets. And the traditional TDM King of Cups also has a really interesting and unique crown, which, like a lot of the headpieces in these cards, it's difficult to find what they actually represented in real life during the Renaissance. So that's an interesting question. They were likely exaggerated approximations of real life headpieces or even theatrical headpieces that were worn in the day, but they are unique. And I thought it was interesting in Ellen's video from Moomin Tarot, Levy saw this or related this to Zeus Amen, which is a god with ram's horns, so that makes a lot of sense too. As for my day, I am trying to be a reliable and responsible human, getting the dogs bathed, doing some cleaning, that kind of stuff. Nothing too major. But we've seen in the cups a lot about honesty, which I think really relates to the opening up of the cups from Drop 'em 78. And tomorrow we will talk about piercing through with the swords. See you then.